Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. And today we're going to talk about the best anime on the internet. I've heard that's a place you can watch anime, but
not if Crunchyroll has anything to do with it.
Oh God. Everything is bad. Yes, 2025 sucked, but hey, we had some good anime, right?
Yeah, and pretty good year for anime, actually.
Pretty good year for anime, actually. And with the year over, it is time for us to name our official GLORIO blog top 10 anime of 2025. Of course, once this recording goes out, the actual top 10 posts will be out. So you can pull that up at theglorioblog.com and follow along if you like as we talk about it. But yeah, I think this was a pretty great year, even maybe for anime. A lot of really good quality shows that we have on this list. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of pleasant surprises. I think.
Yep.
I think a lot of shows for various reasons that came out of nowhere. I think to win us over, and I think even a couple of shows that a couple of long-awaited comebacks that also managed to I think deliver,
yeah.
which is always nice because that is unfortunately not as common as you'd like. So
yeah, we do have some a couple of season 2s and 3s in here as well, right? And well, we'll get to like City and stuff like that later. But yeah, even our number one show is like a classic GLORIO came out of nowhere surprise, though, right?
Yeah,
I always enjoy it when that happens.
Yeah,
I feel like they often are.
That's the best kind. So
yes, the oh god, I can't believe I'm effing this. The Akudama drive effect. There we go. All right, remembered its name at the last minute.
I was thinking to myself, "There's no way he means Love Lab."
Love Lab only made it to like number 2, I think.
I think that's right. Yeah,
it did not make it to number 1, but yes,
I feel
Akudama
like
Drive.
Odd Taxi is my go-to. For
Odd
Taxi is another one. Yep, that's in the same category.
I think what we're getting at is that it is cool that even after all these years, anime still, I think, finds a way to surprise and delight us, despite its best attempts, its best efforts not to.
Yeah. So, yep, we will get into our top 10, but before we do that, let's introduce everybody. I'm Jel. We're joined by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet.
Still with us and still living into 2026.
Well, you give it we're not out of the woods yet.
Now, hold on. We got 4 days left here.
Yeah. But when this audio comes out, it'll be January 1st.
That is true, yes.
So hopefully we're all still alive by then. We maybe if we don't party too hard on New Year's Eve, but we're also joined by G.
Breaking news: Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX found dead in Miami.
Oh, okay. It did not make our list. Is that what?
Yes.
Yes.
Suffering from a fatal overdose of bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like to reveal too much about the actual results, but I will say it was not even close.
Wow, really? Like not even remotely a contender. Wow.
I mean, I did not put it on my list. Did it get any votes at all?
There were some votes, but it did not make the list. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Those crazy kids did not, in fact, make it in this messed up world.
Unfortunately, no.
However, they have the option to make it in a different messed up world.
Yeah, unfortunately, that show, I feel like my opinion on it has only gotten worse over time. But again, I'm not the time. We're not relitigating GQuuuuuX, but RIP, right?
It's an honor to be nominated.
It's an honor to be nominated. Yes. And we're joined by Zig.
Indeed, I might actually be dead before the year is over. So, everybody get your party poppers ready and stuff for that.
Well, I know you haven't been feeling well, so I appreciate you gutting this one out here with us.
Yeah, I think this is mostly a reflection that I was like, oh, I'm probably old enough. I should start getting flu shots.
Have you not been? Let's not get into this. Actually,
Yes, but put it this way: you're not advised to get them until you're over a certain age in this country. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
yet over that age, but
I did not know that. Okay, that is an interesting wrinkle. Fair enough.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but yes. Reminder to get your flu shots, folks, I guess.
But because
if you live in the continental United States.
If you live in the continental United States.
Yes. But because I love you, the listener, so much, I am willing to gut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's not going to be much longer before they're not recommending flu shots here either. But along with vaccines and other things. But hey, what did I say about 2025 sucked? But hey, the anime was good. Anyway, let's get into our list then. Like I said, you can follow along at theglorioblog.com. And, let's jump right into number 10. And we have Call of the Night Season 2 at number 10.
By God, it's Creepy Nuts' music.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be posting that image of the dog with the horny bat and, like, bashing you guys.
Well, I mean, I'm the only one
We're trying to be more sex positive on this podcast.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. I'm the only one that watched the show anyway, right? But, yeah, so I absolutely love Season 2. If anybody is not familiar with Call of the Night, it is the show about this young kid who quit school and hanging around the city all night, where he meets a vampire girl and hijinks ensues. It's by the author of Dagashi Kashi, so it has very similar chill and slightly horny vibes to it. But
it's a good way to describe it.
Chill but slightly horny, yes. Except this kind of is better in every single way. I mean, it's one of his later works, right? So you can kind of see his improvement. And even the jump from season 1 to season 2, it's very rare that you get this much of I think a shift in tone without, A, losing the identity of the show, and B, not ruining everything.
The impression I got from the way everybody was talking about it was that shit really got real in this season in a way that perhaps the first season did not give.
It did.
Of.
There were some hints of it toward the end of season 1, because that's when we introduced Anko, aka the person we lovingly refer to as Megane Colombo.
Yes.
So there were some hints of it, but that was like the last 2 or 3 episodes of season 1.
What if we took the 2 anime detective archetypes, Hot Girl and Columbo, and meshed them together into one?
Yes, truly a work of genius. But yeah, I think it's important, because a lot of times when shows make that kind of shift, like I said, they lose their identity. You always hear me complaining about this is not what I signed up for.
Right. But it sounds like this time, like, they came by that drama honestly, right? They earned it.
It was appropriately built up to, and I never felt like the show lost its identity in all of it. It just felt like a natural extension of where we were going. And I really enjoyed it. It was and I think what I kind of mean by that is it's still, at the end of the day, ends up being kind of chill and slightly horny. Somehow, through all the drama. Yes, there is drama and everything, but I don't know, there's something about the way it's presented. It's
you could do far worse for a vibe.
It doesn't quite lean into the anime melodrama that you might expect with some of the things that they're talking about. There's a level of humanity that's still there that I really appreciated. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Would I recommend this to everyone? Like I said, you got to be able to put up with the slightly horny bits. I don't know if everybody's going to be down for that.
A go through season 1 to get to season 2, like Vinland Saga situation? Though that was way more episodes, to be fair.
I feel like the general vibes about season 1 were pretty good, though. If slightly
okay, Iro, to explain your point, it's obviously Vinland Saga is another example of season 1 being very different than season 2, right?
Yes.
But and that's not to I think it is kind of similar because it's not. I don't think season 1 of Vinland Saga is bad.
No,
Like it's just a very different. It's good.
Right.
It's a very different vibe than season 2, and I ended up liking season 2 much better. So yeah, I think
Season
that's
1
a
of
fair,
Vinland Saga also chill and slightly horny because they're Vikings.
Yes.
chill meaning
they're more than
you know,
slightly
actual,
horny in that.
Or I guess maybe what we're trying to get at here,
Yes.
right, is that like season 2, like
It's
you like season 2 more, but like I think it's predicated on the foundation that
they all
season 1.
they go together, right? Yeah, and you know, it's not like, oh man, I just got to grind my way through to season 1 to get to season 2, right?
Right.
Right.
But it is a different vibe, and I think it's worth, you know, it's worth it for sure.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, it is awesome to have an author who like is not actually a one-hit wonder, you know.
Mhm.
Seems like this dude seems to have a knack for, or you know, seems to have some ideas, right? Seems to Koto
Knows
Yama
how to
here.
draw people to make
Well,
people look at the show, and then
Look, yes, obviously, yes. No, has a certain style that definitely draws people in, but also has like something of substance there too. I think that is,
Yeah, and
is
he
impressive.
seems to be getting better over time, which is
always good to see.
So, okay. Let's go on to number 9. We have Spy Family season 3. Good old reliable Spy Family.
somehow
Mhm.
fucking just sneaks its way into the VIP party every year. Like, you know, it's like, you know, Spy Family was technically only ever given a formal invitation once, but just keeps coming every year, and everybody sees Spy Family, and they're like, I think you can let them in, right?
Yeah.
Always manages to get to tag on as a plus one. So
Yeah.
Everybody knows them, so they just walk into the dealer room. You know, like,
everybody knows Spy
why
Family,
would, you,
right?
why would you check their badge? It's like,
It's
that
Spy
guy.
Family. Yeah. What are you doing checking Spy Family's ID? Like, just
Yeah. So I mean, we're on season 3. I don't think people need me to tell them what Spy Family is, but
no.
you know, if you've been enjoying Spy Family, season 3 is indeed more Spy Family. You know, despite me personally being a little burnt out on it, I can't deny, it's like a warm, comforting blanket. It's something that, I will always appreciate, for, what it's doing. You're going to get your, fun comedy hijinks most of the time, with some occasional, spy action, or I guess in this case, a rather long hostage arc. But
I do think that the bus hostage arc was some of the strongest material they've had for a while. Actually,
Really?
I think that,
okay.
Yeah, I know that's not a common perception of it, but I liked the combination of drama, and I just like Anya scrabbling and trying to handle multiple crises at time, and it's been a while since we've had an arc that focused on her specifically, so I liked the way she was able to play off the other children in the situation, and I just thought there were some very, very good jokes, like where they strap the fake bomb to her and everybody loses their minds for a bit.
Yeah, there are definitely some great bits in there, for sure. So, I don't know how much more we can say about Spy Family in 2025 at this point, other than it is an old, reliable friend that is still here with us.
They've kept the standard up. It still looks nice. It's still entertaining, and the production value is still high. You rarely have a bad time watching an episode of Spy Family as well. So
yeah,
that sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it's not.
Right,
a backhanded insult, rather. Sorry.
No, I get you. It is definitely, even some of my favorite shows have like episodes where I'm like, I can't stand this, right? But Spy Family is a pretty safe bet.
It is almost the closest thing anime currently has to like a syndicated sitcom.
Hmm.
Like
a long running.
like there's an alternate world, like
Friends or whatever. Like,
yeah, like the world in which Spy Family is published in like 1994. Like there's like 90 episodes of the Spy Family TV anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like
sometimes
that.
you just want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
It's Anya Forger.
Yep.
But
oh Lord.
yeah. Hey, I think you know at this point in 2025.
Yep.
Your battle line is drawn on Spy Family wherever it is. I'm sure you know at this point. You don't need us to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get to something a little more wild.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about at number 8 we have Sanda. Sanda, of course, being the manga series by the author of Beastars, Paru Itagaki,
who is braver than the troops.
Who's braver than any U.S. Marine. She turned her horniness for Santa Claus into a manga series, and it is, if you're familiar with Beastars and her work, it is just as out there and as wild as Beastars is.
It is very horny and decidedly not chill about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that it is extremely disjointed, complimentary, and also extremely disjointed, derogatory.
Santa's an interesting one, right? Because
yeah.
As much as we all joke about horny naked Santa fights crime, it is also the show that is, like Beastars, occasionally has something to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because the quick recap, if anybody wasn't watching, because this literally just finished airing like a week ago. This is about a young boy who is has inherited the powers of Santa Claus, and when he transforms to Santa Claus, he's like big buff old man.
Yeah, also apparently Santa has powers now.
And he has all kinds of weird Santa-related superpowers that, like being able to make razor-sharp skis appear out of his feet and stuff like that. And of course, he's nearly invulnerable and unkillable. But, he befriends his, tall, gloomy lesbian friend who's searching for her missing girlfriend and, willing to kill to get her back.
I mean, the opening of that first episode is she stabs him in the chest. So
yes, I think shortly after she holds the school hostage with a bomb vest or something too, right? So fun times, yeah. And this whole thing is set in a very weird, I guess, near future, alternate universe, whatever. Where the
it's kind of a post-apocalypse thing, right? That's the impression I got, at least.
Pre-apocalypse?
It kind of obviously not the same premise, but it's kind of almost like a Children of Men style apocalypse where civilization still exists, but
for how much longer?
Exactly, right? Yeah. They live in this sort of dystopian Japan where the fertility rate has plummeted even further than it already has in our own world, and so children are sort of this.
There's very few children left, and they're very. It has reshaped society. Let's say.
Yes.
Children are. How else can you make a setting where Santa Claus, who runs on the power of children, can be at a disadvantage? You may have a world where the children. Yeah. There are not many of them, and they don't believe in Santa.
So it's certainly an original concept, let's say.
And I think that's the most compelling thing about it. Is just there are so many ideas that are happening so fast, and so many of them are patently ludicrous. And I mean that in a good way.
Right.
That you're never bored. It catches you off base constantly. Sometimes in a way cleverer way than you'd think, but it is a very dynamic, kinetic way of storytelling.
Right. Because even Beastars, as wild as that gets, there are individual things that are very creative and original, but we've seen animal people before, right? Whereas this is I just completely whatever Paru Itagaki's thinking, right?
Yeah,
it's just a completely original concept. So Yeah, and I think it was just a really it was fun in the sense of you don't know what's going to happen next, of course. The story was pretty interesting. They touch on some interesting themes, even if they don't get like super deep into anything. And I thought the presentation of it is, I would almost call it sneaky good.
I know what you're talking about.
It's definitely got that trigger energy where there is not a huge amount of actual top tier animation happening, but it's kind of made up for by like the stuff that you could do well cheaply, like seed blocking and stuff.
And then when it's time to crank it up, they crank it up, right? Like
they do, yeah.
The fight in the was it the last episode?
The penultimate episode.
Penultimate, but
okay, the penultimate episode where they have his fight with the headmaster looked amazing.
Oh no, that is the last episode.
Oh, that is the last episode. Yeah, okay.
Yes, where he magically learns how to like fly or float.
Yeah,
the rooftop is this domain of Santa Claus.
Yeah, he gets stronger on the rooftop.
Right. So, but yes, that looked amazing, and they really cranked it up when they needed to. And I think, I haven't read the manga, but I've seen panels and stuff from it. Like they really. It's one of the best translations of that type of art style I've seen into anime.
Science Saru deserves a real shout out for this one. I think.
I think that we have throughout this year we have repeatedly expressed fears that they may be overextending themselves, and if they are, it's not showing yet because they have turned out some really good work this year.
And thankfully now that we know that Ghost in the Shell is not next season, hopefully they have some time to cook, right? Hopefully, since they are not expected to deliver a show next season, they have some. I'm not even going to say rest because unfortunately I know the reality of like the animation industry, so I'm not going to say I hope they get rest. I hope they have more time, I guess, to work on.
Yes,
the shows that they've been given. But yeah, no, I think despite the fact that it's not always a looker, I think Side Saru's sense of style, it comes through so strong. As we said, watching Sanda makes you like retroactively wish Science Saru had adapted Beastars. Like I think I think the standout for me is probably the fight in the laundry room. Like that's the one for me that I go, man, like Science Saru was fucking on something with this one. But
I also think, there's a lot of use of dramatic silhouetting, lights coming in through the window, and kind of they do a lot of silhouette on solid colour backgrounds. Yes. Again, a lot of that trigger stuff of using style as substance almost to kind of art make the... No, go ahead.
The art direction is just like perfect for the setting the mood, right? Even when you're not like doing anything that's like very animated.
Yeah.
Yes. And oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, the thing I was going to say was, I think if Sanda has a weakness, I think it's that it's got some great character work. It's very funny sometimes. It's got some interesting points it is making about social and kind of political systems and machinations. I just sometimes think those things don't quite fit together as well as they could in a differently toned show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that, and I think they don't have time to bring it all together too much because we end on a very like
I do like the ending of this season.
I do like it, but it feels like the sort of act 2 low point of okay, now we need act 3 to bring everything together, and we're not getting that. So that's the they have to follow
the consequence of how the story was originally written, where
next
they have week
to follow
was just
the manga,
another chapter.
So it does make sense where given the amount of time they have, that's where you would stop the story.
Yeah, I do feel this is one of those shows in the old days where you would get a 25 or 26 episode season where it could almost benefit from a couple of like low stakes filler episodes to give us more time to hang out with the cast, just sort of do goofy school stuff or something like that.
That is definitely a thing that unfortunately I have not reread the early parts of Sanda in a while, so I can't comment on it confidently, but this is one of those cases where I wonder if like there may have been chapters kind of like that in the manga that were cut to make the the 12 episode runtime. I feel like that is, if that is true, I certainly would believe it, and I think it's definitely one of those sort of unfortunate realities, right, of the one core run that has become so commonplace in anime right now, right? Like, yes, what does the 24 episode version of Sanda look like, right? It's certainly something I would have liked to have seen, but we don't live in that timeline, I guess.
Yeah, so I think with those kind of fairly minor criticisms, it's probably why this is not higher on our list, but I still very much enjoyed it. And it deserves to be here for sure.
This is kind of where I kind of thought Sanda would eventually end up, right? Is like, when Beastars, I forget what year it was that Beastars was our number one anime of the year, but that was a thing I was like kind of willing to bet on because I knew, like, having read the manga, like what Beastars had in it, and I was
especially the early part. That first
season one. I was like, if you guys hear me out on this show, like I was fairly confident it had a real shot at number one.
I think though that Beastars has a better skeleton to hang a story around, particularly in that first season where it's kind of basically a whodunit, right?
Right. Whereas like Sanda, I kind of was like, I think if you guys stick with this one, you'll find something pretty enjoyable, but it is,
It's missing one or two pieces somewhere to kind of really make it great.
But at the same time, sort of the scruffiness, the sort of the almost uncontrolledness of it is part of what gives it its charm.
For sure.
You literally have no idea what is going to happen next because something completely insane might happen. Like, I think the one that we all lost our minds about was where they casually reveal that children don't sleep anymore, just by dropping it into a plot point which comes around in the last episode, in fact. But just dropping this completely ridiculous concept into dialogue is one of those things that just completely throws you off balance when you hear it.
And getting a good 8 hours of sleep is gonna just instantly throw you through puberty now, right?
Yes.
Just wild
all the growth hormone activates at once.
Yeah.
And your body explodes.
You go through super puberty and then you die.
So it's like I say there's one or two things missing, but then on the flip side, I don't know what I would actually change without breaking the show. So I don't know. It's an interesting question, but nonetheless, I think it was very enjoyable, and like I said, it deserves to be here. So
I hope there will be more. I'm excited to see where the hell you would possibly go with this story.
Yeah, also, I think it deserves a little more story for sure. So
for sure. One last thing, since this will probably be our last time to talk about Sanda. Shout outs to I believe Tomoyuki Tanaka, the composer for Sanda. Some real choices made in this anime. Flamenco, some real wild remixes of
all the weird
Christmassy
renditions. Carols.
Yeah, I have to say the first time I noticed them playing like minor key "Joy to the World."
Yeah.
I was like, that is just what a brilliant choice for the soundtrack to the show.
Shout outs because, according to what I'm looking up, this is his first and only TV anime soundtrack role. So
okay, well, he's 1 for 1. Yeah.
Did we have a conversation about this early in the season?
We may have.
Okay, yes. This guy is a noted musician elsewhere. Like,
yes. Right. To be clear, yes, okay, he is a real ass musician. But this is like one of his first, or basically first ever role in TV anime.
Yeah.
Right.
He also has listed here in credits. Let us see here from the show Artificial Insect Kabuto Borg Victory by Victory. He was credited for Kabuto Borg design.
Of course.
So a real Renaissance man.
Wow. Amazing.
Watch your back, Kawamori.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to number 7, where we have Witch Watch, and full disclosure to our audience, none of us have watched this, so I'm not going to have too much to say. Artemis really caped up for this one, and Artemis, if you're listening, I'm not questioning your taste, but this does sound like a show I would watch. I would have watched and tried to defend. It is a very let's say, anime comedy, anime as an adjective, from what I have seen of it. It's actually it's a Shonen Jump series, right?
Right.
Yes.
And from what I recall, what the plot of this is, like,
it's a very conventional anime romantic comedy sounding plot.
These teens must live together for a while.
Teens must cohabitate.
Yes, because the main guy has like Oni blood or something. He's very strong, and he is chosen as the familiar to protect his childhood friend, who is a witch and also a girl. And
yeah, it's a bit Mad Libs Shonen Jump. Was my impression of the first episode.
But if anybody on this podcast can attest to the fact that comedy is all in the execution,
yes.
I will vouch for that. And it seems like with this show, there's good chemistry with the main cast. The jokes are funny, and that's kind of all you need, right? And
I did hear a lot of positive buzz as the show continued. Actually, I feel like the general consensus that I saw seemed to be that after kind of like a so-so opening, it really picked up after that.
Yeah, once it kind of finds its footing, right? And Artemis has talked about it over the couple times over the season on the podcast, but and you can always go check the post and read what she wrote about it. So like I said, we're only speculating because we have not watched it, so I can't really get too much into it, but it seems like a fun comedy. I kind of wish I did, because it does sound like a show I would enjoy, since I'm usually the anime comedy guy. Maybe I should have watched this instead of the detective these days are crazy show or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But I enjoyed that show. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, comedy is subjective.
I would I would stick up for that show. Did not have it in my top 5 though. But yes. So Witch Watch sounds good to me. And yeah, I don't have too much more to say on it, unfortunately, but we can move on. All right. On the other hand, something I think you and IG probably have a lot to say about.
Yeah, you could say this one is a win for all the horse girls out there. This is a win.
Don't you hate it when 1 or 2 people put their finger on the scale to get something in the top 10?
So number 6, we have Musume Cinderella Grey Season 2. This, of course, being the adaptation of the Cinderella Grey manga and not direct adaptation of the game, unlike Pretty Derby. And it's pretty great.
Yeah,
I think I completely unironically and without any hyperbole called this the greatest sports anime of all time on our last episode.
I think you said something like that. Yeah.
That's an insane take when so many good baseball episodes
I don't think I am. Yes, as a sports anime fan, I don't think I'm ready to follow you down that path, Joe. But I would say,
to be clear, I am looping back around and then being sarcastic again.
Yes.
But because when I say we never use hyperbole on this podcast, that is pure sarcasm.
Yes,
but it is very good.
It is up there for sure. Yes, as Jel said, yes, this is the tale. This tells the story of Oguri Cap's rise from a provincial small town racer to a national darling. This is I don't know if I really need to explain Uma Musume. Hopefully, at this point, you've picked up a thing or two about it.
It is the hot thing right now. Horse girls. Right?
Can you explain?
No.
Can you confirm or deny? I've heard rumors that this show is actually attached to a video game.
Yes. So this specifically, of course, is season 2, but
season 1 actually did air this year.
It did. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
actually, so we can count both season 1 and 2.
Yes.
2 just finished this past season, so both seasons did air this year. And they go together. There's no they took a break just to take a break. They go together, but yeah, just some real. We've said this many times leading up to this season in the podcast, but just to kind of reiterate, if you're only catching the top 10. It's a great sports anime, and it's mixed with the sort of unpredictability that comes with following the actual career of Oguri Cap, or any of these stories are based on real horse races, right? So you get some very interesting twists that you would not see in a conventional sports anime story. Things happen that wouldn't narratively make sense, like, but you know, they find ways.
The strength of the show is then like, how do the writers then make these into characters where these things do make narrative sense,
and still make for compelling material,
right? So then the writers find a narrative to you know, spin it into,
right? Because you know, I think if you watch a lot of sports anime, you know, like, and I love a lot of sports anime, to be clear, I love a lot of conventional sports anime, but I think there is generally this trend towards like a sort of like sense of like predetermined like fate in a lot of them, right? Like, the two teams that are rivals will obviously face each other at the end of the big tournament, right?
Yeah.
You know, it is the sort of thing of like, you know, because that is just going to be narratively the most like conventionally satisfying thing to happen, right? But
right.
I mean, all sports anime is literally a tournament arc on some level, so,
right? Like, but because like horse racing is a like free for all, winner take all sport. Like, even when like characters form rivalries, that does not mean that like those two are fated to win, right? Like, an outside player can just come out of nowhere and win the race. And I think the thing that Cinderella Grey does a really good job of is because it has to contend with the reality that, like, you know, the most narratively relevant characters are not always winning. They have to make you care about these unexpected wild card characters that get, you know, players that get introduced to the plot. And as a result, like, it sounds a little cliche, right? But, you know, I think Cinderella Grey's greatest strength is that it kind of constantly like hammers this refrain that every competitor is the hero of their own story, right? That each character here has their own motivations, their own hopes and dreams, their own reasons for wanting to be, you know, the fastest horse girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
almost all of those horses have Wikipedia pages in real life.
Yes. And with real records, right? With real legacies. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like kind of remarkably rare for sport. Like, sports anime tends to do the thing of like, okay, you have the protagonist, you have maybe, you know, if it's a team, you have, you know, the teammates, you have the rival team or the rival player, and maybe you have a couple other like designated named characters just there to like be fodder. And
child soccer, they win their way up the tournament until in the finals it's just Team Evil. Like,
exactly, right? Like, that's the nature of sports media, right? Is it makes more sense to focus on the primary players, but you know, because they're following real life results. This is a show that does have to answer, okay, but what if, like, in the middle of this really heated rivalry, a random player from America showed up, won, spoiled the whole thing, and then left? And
never to be seen again. Yeah.
Literally never to be seen again. And it's like, oh, how do you make that satisfying? How do you make that compelling? And I think Cinderella Grey consistently finds ways to pull that off. And I find myself consistently impressed by it. I think Side Games Pictures, a show that a studio that I think is showing up 3 times in our top 10, if I'm correct.
Yep.
It crazy that this is only the first of the 3, but, you know, like, they are truly not a studio to be messed with, right?
We got to keep an eye on.
They got that money.
Yeah, it turns out having unlimited money is a big advantage in certain situations.
Yes. Next time you look at The Summer Hikaru Died or Apocalypse Hotel, give a salute to the horse girls who laid their lives.
that made it possible. Yeah.
I'm still out here saluting Favreau.
Yes. Actually, the real veteran, the real OG, Rage of Bahamut.
Yeah.
It is the foundation stone on which so many things are built. The small domino that.
Right. So
somebody do that meme of tipping over the small domino, and it's just Kaisar shouting Favreau, and at the big domino is
the entire Western gaming sphere obsessed with. No, the end one is just Jeff Keighley says Uma Musume.
Yes, exactly. To get it's like, I think it's like, obviously the story is compelling, but I think also Side Games Pictures have done a great job with Cinderella Grey. It looks great. The characters are, you know, we keep joking about these girls look so fucking intense. You know, these girls want to win these races so bad, right?
Yeah, and I think it helps a lot, the shift from the shift in art direction from, like, if you don't like the game or Pretty Derby and how that looks, and it's kind of more like cutesy art, idol adjacent, whatever. This is more like prestige anime from like the mid to late 2000s sort of art style, right?
Yes.
Like it's including like the the rock opening and everything.
Yes.
And a lot of just like 10 out of 10 character designs that make it all very visually appealing in a way that even if you don't like how the game looks, Cinderella Grey has a much different kind of style to it that I think
it stands on its own for sure.
For sure.
I do legitimately think that if you like sports anime, like generally, you don't need any other prelude. You don't need any other material. You can kind of just jump into Cinderella Grey,
right.
And I think
for fans of the genre,
yes, but like unironically so, right? Like I think Cinderella Grey does not present itself in the way that most people are accustomed to when they think of sports anime, but I think in its content, in its bones, it is just as good as the best of the genre. It is evoking.
If the game didn't happen, if Pretty Derby didn't happen, and this was just some random anime that popped up and we were doing a first look on, I still think we would have gotten into it.
I think so, yeah. Also, I keep forgetting to bring it up, so I will remember now. Shout-outs to also Kenji Kawai's soundtrack for Cinderella Grey.
Did Kenji Kawai do the soundtrack for that?
Yes, he sure did. Yep. Dude, there are some moments when I am watching Cinderella Grey where I'm like, that kind of sounds like Itmon's theme or something.
Yeah. Noted composer of Fate Stay Night.
Yes.
If Sawano is doing Kamen Rider now, there are no rules. The world of music is in anarchy.
Yes. Look, Kenji Kawai needs work too, all right? And
let's have Kenji Kawai do a game soundtrack like Sawano did. Like,
God,
come on.
What, just like a whole like what Sawano Xenoblade Chronicles X? We just need Kenji Kawai to just do.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, but it has to be Super Monkey Ball.
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
After he makes a Gang of Dragon, he'll make like I don't know, Super Donkey Ball. Like, just like
Superior Ape Sphere.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway.
But yeah. Cinderella great show. Probably one of my favorites of the year. Again, you can read my post on the blog titled G's Year of the Horse. This is when we talked about surprises, this year. I think, I think a lot of us are talking about some other shows on this top 10 surprising us, but I think maybe Uma Musume as a collective franchise was my surprise of 2025.
Yeah, so. that did hit the Western world like a bomb this year, right? And
I mean, at least among terminally online people, which
I think no, it did break containment. I've had normal people ask me, "Have you heard of this Uma Musume thing?" That don't normally know about these things, so it has broken containment to a certain degree.
I wonder if that is why they have decided to put Grand Blue on Steam.
Right, they just announced that today, didn't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. Grand Blue Fantasy finally making it to Steam was definitely a result of Uma Musume's success, I'm sure.
God.
But that's a whole nother topic for another time. Anyway,
you can't even link your account. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know how you get the game's been out for 12 years. There's
Who the fuck is gonna play year 1 Grand Blue on Steam?
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm starting. It's at least 10 years too late for that. But anyway, Uma Musume, Cinderella Grey, it's pretty good. Let's move along and get into our top 5. And we have Takopi's Original Sin. Real fun show. Real fun, lighthearted show.
I didn't watch this specifically because I was warned it would hurt me.
It is this cute little alien, cartoon alien that meets this girl who's having a hard time and using their various gadgets and things. They help fix her life and make everything better, right? That's what I remember of this show.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the sort of reductive elevator pitch on Takopi's original sin is that this is an ONA that is very much sort of meant to be I guess a dark twist on the Doraemon style kids show, like the friendly alien style, friendly mascot alien style of show, and I think if you followed our discussions of Takopi, this is I think this, despite I think this is a show that kind of led to us kind of discussing a lot, like, should a show deserve to be praised just because it tackles hard topics? I think in the context of Takopi, I think it does deserve to be here because
it's very well made.
I think it would be so easy to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like Takopi is really and
they get close.
And they do.
I don't think they do.
Like, this show is the equivalent of, like, sticking your hand directly in the furnace, right? Like, you are grabbing the hottest, sharpest, most, like, potentially, like, fraught topics imaginable. Like, this is a show about child abuse, about generational trauma, about just, like, the ways in which support systems fail, children, especially the most vulnerable of us. Yeah. And it does so with, like, remarkable, like, grace and dignity.
And they somehow managed to pull that off while not pulling any punches in their depiction of those things.
Yes,
right.
There's some very graphic, disturbing things that happen in this anime. And not like in the blood and gore, but like in just the depiction of those things that you said, G, that are, you have to be mentally prepared to watch this. Like, this is not a fun. What's on, I don't remember if it's on Netflix or where it was streaming, but pull up whatever. What's this anime? Let's pull this. You got to prepare yourself to watch this, I think, because it is going to handle those topics. And yeah, they somehow pull it off. They get real close. I think, one of the dangers is, devolving into misery porn, right? And just and they get really close.
I think they get close, but I do want to emphasize, I think Takopi's original sin is a miserable show, but it is not misery porn, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And they do bring it around into something meaningful and almost I think I feel I got a positive feeling from the ending of the series, of, like, the overall message despite everything.
I think that is the intent,
which is a hard thing to pull off, right? And I think maybe that's one of the most impressive things with this show that has it this high up on our list, right? Is that
it's not like a everything's okay positive. It's still like a very we are still dealing with these things, but
it's things are bad, but we're gonna make it, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of where we end up, and I think that is perhaps a good message to have in 2025. But
I was going to say how unapplicable to the times that we live in.
Yeah. So definitely worth watching if you are in a space where you can handle something like this.
Yes. I do plan to watch it eventually.
But if you are not ready to, or don't want to take on that, if those are things that you don't want to tackle right now, it's totally understandable. I would not watch it. I was on the fence myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if you are in a place where you can handle that, then I think it's definitely worth it. I think out of everything on here, it probably made me, quote unquote, feel the most, have the most feelings in terms of, I guess, emotional weight or something.
I mean, I think the thing I take away from what you guys have been talking about is I'm glad that they seem to nail the landing in terms of not exploiting or not glamorizing, but perhaps like fetishizing the violence and abuse, because I feel like child abuse is something which comes up fairly often in anime as part of its occasional too edgy for you attempts, right?
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that it is treated explicitly but respectfully, if that makes sense. They don't shy away from it, but it's all in service of the story. I think that's a very hard thing to nail, and by the sounds of it, they managed it here.
Yeah. And you all, there are some spots where I felt like I was questioning it, and then you kind of almost have to watch the whole thing for it to all kind of come back together.
I think it would be very easy to take clips of this show out of context and it would not, and make it look like it is like barreling past the line of acceptability. And I think it is undoubtedly a show that like all of its moments work in the context of, I think, what they have built here. Just shout outs to the adaptation itself, right? This is an adaptation of a manga. Gorgeous looking, again, to get into the technical aspects of it, like gorgeous looking show. Really, really nailed just
we had a lot of really nice looking anime this year.
Yeah.
As I'm looking at this top 10, like every show on this top 10 looked amazing.
For sure, yeah. I think Takopi especially, right? Like they're intentionally kind of like evoking the Doraemon or like Crayon Shin-chan vibe, right? Incredible. The scratchy, loose lines.
Yeah, every time they have something horrible on screen next to like always cartoony Takopi, right?
Yeah,
like they make it work.
Yeah, they really push the dissonance intentionally to like unseen levels. And I think I mentioned obviously last time when we were talking about the show, when we were still covering the show, but also just shout outs to I believe TBS producer Kotaro Sudo, who is the guy who infamously was also the like engine behind the Pop Team Epic anime, and like I guess apparently like felt it was like his mission on Earth to make the Takopi anime, and so just threw his weight behind that, which
Dude has range, it seems.
Man has a vision, he's just the producer, not the director, but just somebody who wants to see stuff like this in the world. Yeah. And I think I can respect that a lot. But man.
It's pretty good.
We're gonna be bouncing around a lot of this top 10, aren't we?
Yeah, the tone shifts, tone whiplash here as we move on
from horse girls to child abuse to
number 4. We have new Panty Stocking with Garterbelt, the long-awaited Panty Stocking sequel that I think delivered exactly what we were both expecting and wanting from Panty Stocking.
Your friend and mine, Trigger, always makes the top 10 somehow.
So I put this high on my personal list, and I think I put it there because I feel like it delivered a little more than I was expecting.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah. And it's been a while since I watched the first series of Panty Stocking. In fact, you could say it's been, 13, 14 years? But I think I wasn't prepared.
I think it's 15.
Sure.
Panty Stocking aired in 2010.
Jeez. I think I'd forgotten, or perhaps, I was just a less attentive watcher the first time, but I wasn't prepared for kind of like the sort of cornucopia of styles, parodies, homages, and just sort of the general. This show kind of reminded me of Space Dandy a little bit, in the sense that it's less a coherent set of story and characters, and more sort of like a template which you can then spin into any sort of genre experiment you feel like, right? This week it's a homage to the Silver Age of comics. This week it's a Conan the Barbarian parody. This week it's an episode of Impact Cop. All of those kinds of musical things. Yeah, and I think I was impressed by like the richness and the variety of ways that they spun the concept this time around. That, to me at least, was not something I fully expected from the show.
Right. Trigger is like a studio that is, as we talk about them a lot, like they are cultivating many skilled people at the studio, and I also appreciate how every short was crediting like here are the people who worked on this short, right? Because they understand as a studio that because they're kind of built on it that certain types of people want to follow like the creatives behind the show as opposed to just like the show.
as anybody who's attended one of Trigger's Anime Expo panels knows, like, Trigger intentionally cultivates a bit of a, I guess, cult of personality, right? Like, it's not just Trigger.
Yes.
It's Hiroyuki Imaishi. It's Yo Yoshinari, right? It's Akira Amamiya.
Well, I mean, Trigger have always been good about sort of weaponizing their street cred, right? I think it's the thing which sustained the studio for the first few years, and they used to build hype for their projects.
Yeah. And I just appreciate that they are still sort of making their shows in a way that highlights that and they're up and comers, right?
Yeah, like I unfortunately am going to be a hypocrite now because I cannot recall their names. But I remember watching this show, and Iro, you and I would go, "What? Who's that?" Like, wow, like that episode was awesome. Let's look them up. And it's like, oh, this is somebody who's like been at Trigger for like 5 years, and they did like that cut in Kill la Kill or something, right? And it's like their names aren't sticking yet, but like knowing Trigger, if they keep pushing these people to the forefront like they did with New Panty and Stocking. I mean, Akira Amamiya was not a household name for us until Gridman. Like, despite the fact that that dude had been in the studio since, I mean, Inferno Cop.
No, even though he did Inferno Cop and Ninja Slayer before that.
Yeah, right? But it takes time, right? And I think Trigger gets that. And so, I think, like, I appreciate New Panty and Stocking on, like, on the level as a fan of what is actually happening on screen, right? The goofy antics, the shit posting, the toilet humor. But I think also as a sort of meta project, right? It is it is a showcase of like in some ways it's a showcase of how far the studio's come, but also how much the studio still knows how to play the hits, if that makes sense.
I mean, it also feels like that they are closing the loop to some extent. Like, they took back from Gynax the thing that they created. Yeah. And we joked about it when the show ended, but I would be pretty surprised if there was a season 3 at any point. I think that there was a sense of...
Give it another 10 years, like...
God, perhaps, but the sense I got was...
season, in our 30th anniversary of the blog.
If Imaishi doesn't drop dead, then the last show he makes before he retires will be another Penny and Stockade.
Yes, but you know what I mean, though. It very much felt like that they finished their unfinished business with this one.
For sure. Yeah. Like despite obviously, the shit post trolling of the actual ending, I do feel like there is legitimate a sense of finality to aspects of New Panty and Stocking, right? Again, this was Panty's VA, Arisa Ogasawara, came out of retirement to voice this role one more time, right? There's a sense of like, it's fantastic, truly. Like, and
I could listen to her say fuck in a variety of ways in English forever.
It is so good. I mean, it's like, and that's what makes it like, despite this show's tone, it's why there's a little bit of a wistful feeling around it, right? There's a sense of finality, right? Yeah. Like, this is the bookend of kind of an era of Trigger. Like, obviously Imaishi is still working, but like, Trigger is no longer the sex, violence, and Mach Speed studio. I mean, it partially still is, but that's no longer that studio's singular identity. Right. And I think it's just cool that they were... I think a lot of creators, not a lot of creators get this chance, right? To like... play the old hit one more time. And I think it's very cool they did. And did it as well as they did.
It was like they were bringing it home, right? Like, they were not Trigger when they made this. This was Gynax. That was one of the last things Gynax made, right? And it's like they kind of brought their baby home or something, right? One more time. But,
yes.
It's it was a lot of fun. I've never been the biggest fan of Panty and Stocking, but I've always appreciated it. And I think this delivered, like I said, everything I would have wanted from a new series. And it does feel like it kind of ties some things up,
I mean, like I said at the beginning, I was not the biggest fan of Panty and Stocking, and I think this show made me more of a fan of it. And I think that's a testament to its success, I think. Also, a moment of silence, please, for the police chief.
Oh, yeah.
Killed defending the people of the city, buried in New Orleans.
Too soon. Gone too soon.
It's sad to think that Tetsuo Inada will definitely never show up in a Trigger production.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Also, shout outs. Teddy Lloyd is still a threat.
Yeah,
I've said this the last several times I've been on this podcast. Teddy Lloyd must be stopped. Teddy Lloyd is not a drunk with power.
I've listened to some of those tracks from that new Kamen Rider show of his. That man is
oh man,
he's on something.
He's still out here, right? Yep.
But
yeah.
And to be clear, look, if they do it now to season 3 like next year or something.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Obviously.
We'll all be there, you know. Like, look, you know, we're all talking like this is a wake for Panty and Stocking. Like, they could just bring it back. If I could just be, I'm fucking with you guys. It's coming back.
No, here's my prediction: full 26 episode season of Brief and Chuck. Sign it.
Yes.
What's the? Was it Junior and Bastard? Like,
Junior and Bastard. Yes, the kids at the end.
They still got the
fun
juice.
to see on multiple levels. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let's bring the mood back down.
Yes.
And talk about at number 3, we have The Summer Hikaru Died. Another, I think, a bit of a surprise here for us.
Congratulations to The Summer Hikaru Died for winning, again, making it this far up, despite the fact that I'm the only one who watched it. That's very impressive.
We had the ongoing joke as we were covering it, because just, I mean, the way things worked out, every episode is, you were the only one on the podcast that was watching it.
Yes.
And this is not normally your wheelhouse.
Not usually my beat, but, you know, hey, the sports desk commentator can, you know, is a flexible
in a pinch,
role.
you had to cover the murder case.
But
yeah, Summer Hikaru Died is it's a manga, right? Adaptation.
I believe so. Yes, by Side Games Pictures.
The second of our Side Games Pictures trilogy.
Yeah, and the second of the Side Games Pictures adaptations here, or shows on this list, and it is about G or Zig, maybe you could explain better than I could what it's about. But,
sure. I mean, it's about the crushing despair of being gay in a small town in Japan.
Yes, ultimately that is what it's about, right?
Yes. And also there's some stuff about monsters and yokai or something.
Right. I mean, my reductive elevator pitch was going to be, what of the thing was sad, gay, and Japanese? The Thing from John Carpenter's The Thing.
I realized that.
Yes.
1 second too late.
So basically just add the Japanese part to it.
Yes.
Right? But,
no, in all seriousness, right? I mean, this is another show that, like, you know, like, this is why we like watching anime, right? Like, I don't think we did not even cover the show in the preview, or did we?
If so, it was not extensively.
You know, and
it might have been like a real quick, hey, maybe there's something going on here. But,
you know, I think that may have been what it is. But yeah, this is just another one of those shows that kind of came out of nowhere. And I think just really impressed all of us, right? Because to be clear, even the premise of like horror story with queer undertones is kind of nothing new, right? But I think the context of like doing this within, you know, under the examination of small town Japanese like politics and society is kind of where the show gets really interesting, right? It kind of gets into, you know, the pressures of adolescence, you know, the pressures of small town community, you know, the fear that, like, you know, everybody, you know, that everybody knows your name, brackets derogatory, right?
Yeah.
And navigating that. And I think, you know, Yoshiki is like such a like compelling protagonist, right? I think, you know, the way I kind of put it is like, you cannot help but like watch him navigate this situation like with both sympathy and also a little bit of like voyeurism. Like, he has such a deeply tortured soul, and you know he is making like some really bad decisions, but
you also understand why he is making those decisions.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think for me, The Summer Hikaru Died, and I think it had a really interesting story, but I think the main draw for me were the vibes. You know, I think that there is such a sense of crushing claustrophobia around a lot of this show. You know, you feel the characters, I mean, Yoshiki, but also Hikaru, or quote-unquote Hikaru in a way, are are prisoners of their situation, of their social status, of the things that they are expected to do, and there's just this sort of unpleasant cloyingness to the whole thing. You are a little too close to these characters. Everybody says the thing that they're not meant to say. There's just, I mean, I think there is, of course, the amazing raw chicken shot, which might be up there for like moment of the year in terms of just a great bit of atmosphere. But it really is a sort of show that closes in around you and cloaks you in uncomfortable feelings. And I think it was so good at that. I think the combination of the sort of the spare dialogue that only says what needs to be said, but says it so well and so sort of piercingly is incredibly good. I think the art. This is another show that is perhaps not technically astonishing, but is so artistically rich and varied and good at setting mood to its visuals. I think that's a huge part of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, shout outs to, again, as we said, Side Games Pictures. I think, this is probably, if you want to go on a technical level, this is probably, like, of the 3 Side Games Pictures here, it is probably technically, maybe the least impressive. But I think in terms of the shot composition, the directorial choices, like, the thing I constantly notice as someone who is slowly dipping their toe into more J-horror is, like, I think there's a, like, very, like, impressively cinematic feel to the way the Summer Hikaru Died is shot. Like, to speak to the cloying claustrophobic feel that Zig was alluding to, like, there are shots in this show that feel like, I'm watching, like, Ju-on or Noroi, like these sorts of, like, claustrophobic close-up shots that, like, intentionally, like,
make you feel trapped, right? Like,
yes, because your like your spatial perception of the scene is intentionally cut off, right? And so the tension arises from what you are not seeing, and I think that's really impressive. And obviously, we here at the GLORIO Chat have especially talked a lot about how, like, cinematic is not always good in anime, right? Like, anime should be able to shine on, the qualities of its the medium it is made in. But I think here, like, the intentional emulation of, like, some aspects of live action shooting, like, work really well in this show's favor. I think we have sometimes discussed that, like, horror specifically is a somewhat difficult genre to pull off in animation, just because of, like, I think there's, like, varying factors to it, but
I think one of those factors is that there is the best horror has sort of like a visceral connection to personhood, and so anything that abstracts a person as a figure in the story, like animation does, as opposed to live action, can make it a little bit more difficult to feel the terror in that way.
Right, and I think making those directorial choices really works in the show's favor. It's a really remarkable job what they've done here. And again,
they borrowed the right parts from.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
From live action cinema, right?
And I think as well that there are some choices that are very uniquely anime. I think that the constant shifting in visual styles is a very anime touch, and they make good use of the animated medium. The stuff where they do sort of briefly switch styles to, like, what would you call it? To silhouette or to collage or to live action.
Mixed media, yeah.
Yes, mixed media, that's the term. Sort of intensify the feeling of wrongness.
Yeah.
They feel like out of place experiments because they are designed to make you feel that way. And I think maintaining that sort of inconsistency consistently, say that 3 times, but is a real skill, and the way that they sort of marshal the tone. And again, it's all about the characterization of these characters who are making poor choices and are deeply troubled and are perhaps even complicit, but you still see them as people. And I think that's where sort of, like, both the affection and also some of the real horror comes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have watched this one.
Yeah. Well, look,
I didn't have time to. I watched the first episode and like, even in one episode, I can see what you guys are saying about getting the vibes right and everything right. But
well, don't worry, Joel. Season 2 is a ways off. So
yes, so I know
they have some time.
they are going to have another season, right? So
yes. Will these two crazy kids make it in this messed up world?
Chances significantly lower.
Yeah. Yeah, in universe, I don't know if their odds are great, but okay. Let's go to number 2 then.
Yep, bounce back again to the comedy.
Shifting moods again. I think we'll be generally in this direction for the rest of the podcast here. But at number 2, we have City the Animation. This is the spiritual successor to Nichijou. It's the same. It's a manga from the same artist, and also it is done by Kyoto Animation. To put it out there, for my personal bias, Nichijou is one of my favorite anime of all time, and therefore I was already predisposed to loving City, but I think they did a great job delivering on it. I will start with, because I think the most striking part of the show is the technical aspects, the animation. This normally that's not that important to me, but in this case, it is like the highlight, and I think we should start with that part because
I mean it's because it's so often in service to the joke or the story they are trying to tell.
And it's not that City doesn't have jokes or fun characters or anything, but the technical aspects are like the most striking part. I think. I'm joking about us using hyperbole on the podcast. This is probably like the highest technical accomplishment in television anime that I've seen in real time.
I am comfortable saying that. Like
there are probably things back in the 80s or something that I did not see when they were airing.
I mean, a lot of that stuff was confined to OVAs, though.
Right.
But I do think, obviously, look. There's always talk every year about what's the best looking show of the year, who had the best sakuga, right? And of course, the unwashed masses begin to post their shonen slop compilations of Gojo doing something in Jujutsu Kaisen, and
60 frames interpolated.
Yes, is at 4K 60 FPS, and I think the real knowers, if you know ball, you know that. City the Animation is by far it is. I am comfortable calling this the highest achievement, in the art of animation this year. I think this is the only show this year I could think of that not only just hits a very high bar, but outright pushes what the medium is capable of.
You sure with that? In the same year that Momentary Lily aired, you're prepared to say those things?
Yeah.
Wait, which show is that?
That was the Gohan show.
Oh, okay. I've already forgotten that show, dude.
Yeah.
God. Right.
Yeah, because it's not because I think the conventional perception of good animation is that Jujutsu Kaisen clip of some anime top 10 anime fights or whatever, right?
It's Utapon, right? It's very VFX driven, and I think
and this is a completely different angle on it, and the way that they, and again, these are things that if you've been listening to our podcast, we've talked about this many times, but if you're only here for the top 10, it's the way they have translated a sort of more hand-drawn organic type of style into something so technically precise and well animated. The easiest example being how they handle some of the shading and the blur and stuff like that to look like
things are out of
cross-hatched instead of literally blurring the image or something, right?
Right.
It's just go ahead. G, you're the artist, so you go.
Sure. Okay. I don't want to talk over you, but yes, it is a thing that it's a difficult thing to explain because I think City is really a show that seeing is believing, right?
Yes.
I can explain to you on a technical level that Kyo Ani does not just understand animation, but understands that animation is an abstraction of movement and vision, right? That all art is on some form an abstraction of reality. And thus, like all artistic techniques are in service to finding ways to abstract and stylize observable phenomena in reality. And a great example of this that we've talked about multiple times, right, is like,
stuff in darkness, like,
yes, right, or like why does a thing look blurry, right? What why do speed lines exist, right, in animation, right? Like what exactly is that trying to replicate in observable motion? And the ways in which KyoAni like twists and plays in that space, like, are actually, like, again, no hyperbole, unironically unprecedented. Like, as in,
we've never seen things we've never seen before.
Never been done like this in animation. And that's kind of crazy to say in 2025.
Because animation's been around a really long time.
It's
right.
It's so impressive. And it would be one thing if this was just the typical KyoAni, like, beautifully animated but like substanceless fluff. But the fact that it is attached to, like,
substantive fluff.
Yes, legitimately, like, one of the funniest shows of the year. I think City was a show I kind of went hot and cold on. But I think when it is hot, God, what a fucking funniest show, man! Like, the show,
there
are plenty of some of the best moments of anime comedy ever in this thing.
Yes,
like,
it's some of the, it's like, a lot of most of the series is, short segments, but when they go all out, like the big ones, like the hospitality towers or the city race, and they kind of bring all the pieces in the sandbox together into the middle and smash them all together.
Was it in the Hospitality Towers episode where we get like the 20-way screen divide?
Yes.
And it's just a lot of fun. I know for me, I'm a sucker too for the, like, celebrating the ordinary stuff in amazing ways, the way Nichijou did. We've talked about, I feel like Nichijou maybe handled that aspect of it a little better, but the with City, it's definitely still present. You get it kind of focuses more on the the value of community and stuff like that in that aspects of it. But just what an amazing show. This is definitely one that, talking about it, does not do it any sliver of justice.
You kind of have to watch it, and I mean, like,
and that's what's really great with. I feel like for me, the best anime are stuff you have to watch because that means the animation is part of the package, right? Like the presentation is a vital part of the storytelling.
Yeah. And what do you mean, Joe? I read all the episode summaries on Wikipedia, so it's just as good as having watched it.
And to sort of follow up on that, I think it's important to emphasize that doesn't mean that the writing is not sharp or the characters are not well written. All of that stuff is there. It's just that City chooses to express itself most truly and frequently through its visual style and through its animation. It is not a particularly dialogue-heavy show, or it's not a particularly... I don't even know what to say, but like you said, the storytelling is the visual flair and the visual drama there.
For sure.
And it's like what are we watching anime for? Like, that's what we're watching anime for. Otherwise, it could just be like a live action story or something else. We could read a book.
And there's so much communicated through those images, some of the, like, just little touches to sell the joke better, little things to sort of tell you how a character is feeling, or just like a flourish to show you how excited and exciting this scene is, how much the animators love doing this. It's all there, and it's just really pleasurable to see put up on a screen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you only have time for one, like, City the Animation, it is an episodic comedy. Like, episode 5. Just watch episode 5 of City the Animation, and, like,
that'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yes. Because, again, like, words don't do it justice. Like, truly, like, we could talk for another 20 minutes. It wouldn't do this show justice. You just have to... You just have to look at it, man. It's art. This is what art is. You have to look at it with your eyes, with your human eyes.
Yes.
Also,
no, I'll have my chatbot explain it to me.
Yes, have ChatGPT
Yeah.
summarize the events of episode 5. Like, God, fuck off. Like,
also,
Sorry.
Ichinoko real?
Yeah.
And you know, just as one last shout out. Obviously, this is from my limited perspective because I just sort of actively choose to ignore KyoAni most of the time. What a comeback, man! What a roar of life from this studio. Like,
right.
I think obviously they have done work since The Fire.
I'm pretty sure this is their first like
TV
new
show,
work
right?
that. Yeah, I was going to say original work. It's not original because it's a manga adaptation, but
they did that season of Sound Euphonium.
Oh, they did Sound Euphonium.
They've done quite a bit.
Like, yeah.
They've done quite a bit, but it was all like sequels to the pre-Fire stuff, right?
Okay.
Whereas this is, I think, is the first new project, like completely new project,
right,
post-Fire, which is not a sequel. I mean, assuming we're not counting as a sequel to Nichijou, of course, but you know what I mean. It's not like it's not Sound Euphonium season 3 or Dragon Maid season 2 or whatever, right? It's a completely new project, and I didn't dig too deep into the staff, but whatever talent they still have or brought in or whatever, they destroyed this. Like,
they have really like
they kind of popped back out and told everybody, hey, we're still like the best in the business when we want to be.
Yep. Extremely strong comeback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And talking about this on the same day that they announced that they're going to do a Ruri Dragon anime.
Typical KyoAni going after another big budget jump adaptation.
I know, right? But it is heartening to see them back at such strength. You know, whether you like their traditional fare or not, you know, KyoAni is one of the most important and most interesting studios in the business, and the business is better for having them at full strength.
Yeah.
Just this one time, KyoAni, I'll forgive you for beating Trigger in our top 10. But next year, it's back to the same old thing, all right? We're back to being worst enemies next year.
I don't know anything about this Ruri Dragon thing, is it? But
we will talk about it.
Popular with the youth.
Yes,
I'm going to assume it's not going to be a top 10 contender for us next year, but
who knows?
We will see. We will see.
Right.
I'm very curious what KyoAni will do with it because
look, the K-On! Manga was not all that.
That's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of what I'm getting.
They do have a reputation for making drastic changes to the source material. Yeah.
The little I have read of Ruri Dragon is way better than the K-On! Manga, but yes, there is.
The K-On! Manga is trash, though. So, like,
but yes, it will be interesting to see what sort of angle KyoAni approach this from.
Ruri Dragon was good enough that when it had to go on emergency hiatus for 2 years, it was not canceled.
Yes,
despite having only had 7 or 8 chapters at the time.
That's a pretty resounding vote of confidence.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
number one.
Drum roll, please. I guess as we get to number 1 on our list here.
The one everyone saw coming. You know, you could tell from the start of the year that this was going to be the number 1 anime.
Congratulations to Lazarus for
Lazarus. That should be our top 10 header, Lazarus.
Oh my God, you're right.
Oh, that's right.
We
all instantly put it out of our minds, I think.
Yeah. No, I had to quickly scroll through what I watched this year to pull what's the worst anime I watched this year.
All right, that's going to be the top 10 header. Yeah, so Lazarus is not number 1.
No, don't worry. Don't walk away, viewers. It's not actually our number 1.
It is Apocalypse Hotel. I was kind of half joking all year. Can't wait till Apocalypse Hotel is number 1. But in my heart, I knew the impact this had. Yeah. The impact this and you know, I don't like to talk too much about the actual results. This wasn't even close. Like, this blew away everything else for number 1. I think the all the boxes that it checks hit something with everybody in the GLORIO.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's kind of the ultimate all-rounder. It hits every field. It knows everyone's individual weakness, and it is just good at pretty much everything it tries.
It's funny. It has sad robots. It's a quiet examination of like, you know, entropy. You know,
I mean, robots.
There's a mech fight. Like, they're furries. Like,
to show how much I love the show, I'm actually wearing my Gingaro Hotel t-shirt that I made shortly after the show.
The power
finished.
of Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, and yeah, it's such a good blend of, you know, okay. Let's get the premise out there.
Yeah.
It's called Apocalypse Hotel because this is a hotel in the post-apocalypse where humans have, you know, there was a virus that was killing all the humans, so they left to go find a new planet or whatever, but left behind is this hotel that was run by robots, and the head robot at the hotel was instructed to, you know, wait for the humans to come back, and so she has kept the hotel operating in as close to pristine condition as she can for, I forget when the show starts, because a lot of it's like 100 years or something when the first when the show starts. But like a lot of time passes throughout the course of the series, and it's kind of her slowly adjusting and really to, you know, the fact that the humans are not coming back, right? So
and I think importantly, learning to value things beyond her original like prerogative, right?
And you know, this means, you know, aliens show up. That's kind of the most prominent thing, right? But it's different kinds of aliens start showing up on Earth that become guests at the hotel, and a lot of other things I don't even want to give away. But it's a setup for, I think, with the variety of aliens showing up, that's a setup for different types of stories and segments and things to happen. And it's just like, and this is such a hard balance to hit, but it's such a perfect blend of like the kind of like goofy comedy and sort of, you know, darker humor. There's definitely some dark humor. I think
the way that the show like can dual wield those feelings is its greatest strength,
and even just like genuine heartfelt emotion too.
I think the thing that like
that's in there too.
It can be serious and funny at the same time without undercutting either.
Like the thing that kind of blows my mind about Apocalypse Hotel is I was thinking about Apocalypse Hotel is the closest I have ever experienced the particular range of emotions I experienced playing a Yakuza game. Like Apocalypse Hotel is like
you're excited that it's Friday night?
Yes, you know, always am. You know, Apocalypse Hotel, it kind of finds this weird middle ground where like it has like some of the dumbest shit poster tier humor, like imagine, like like there are jokes in this show that are almost like, you know, like Panty and Stocking adjacent, and then like it will hit you with it'll hit you with like some like great black comedy, right? You know, the funeral / wedding / fiesta episode, right? Which is just like jaw dropping. Like I can't believe how hard I laughed at that episode, despite how like
it's very like, sad and funny at the same time somehow.
The weird cat guy who wants to destroy the world,
right? And
that was my personal favorite episode.
And then somehow it is also like, you know, it is also a show about like death and renewal, right? It's about like how like nothing lasts forever and nothing should, right? And what do we do with our time on the earth, right? And it's very like it's so difficult to pull off these tones. Like it's so difficult to like do one of these tones really well. And Apocalypse Hotel does like all of them really well. Like better than like some of the like than other shows who the show does it better than some shows for which one of these are their entire focus, and it's jaw dropping, man. Like
I mean, I greatly enjoyed this show because it absolutely hits one of my generational weak spots, which is the sort of the sad longing for times past, the like bittersweetness of existence continuing but fading. You know, mono no
the sadness of immortality.
You should read Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko.
I have, but also, you know, it is. I think that the thing that's so key to it is that there is that tinge of sadness, you know, but also it communicates. There is also the balance that, you know, that life is rich and full of joy, and it doesn't just tell you that; it shows you that. Right? It shows you within this sort of like sad wrapping are these moments of such joy and humor, and not even just the big things, but the little things as well, like the way the employees care for each other and look out for each other, and just the smallest interactions. It is so good at communicating the extremes of existence. The happiness, the excitement, the sadness, the wistfulness, all of those things. And just sort of encapsulating the whole experience of existence is really quite an impressive achievement.
Like not to compare apples and oranges here, right? But it's like, for example, if like one of the big themes of City the Animation, right, is finding wonder in the mundane of daily life.
Yes.
I think like Apocalypse Hotel arguably manages to do that theme almost even slightly better because of that tinge of pathos in it, right? Like, like time passes, people age in this show, right? People pass away in this show, right? Like it's and I think this show also being so much about the struggle to find meaning in that, right? To find beauty in the passing of time.
They definitely
they
dig deep. They dig deeper into that, right? City is still kind of very surface level, where this is like we're expanding into like nobody dies in City, right? Like
City takes place over like a summer,
right? And this is hundreds of years or whatever that this show.
I mean, like using robots as like a conduit for human existentialism is very classic storytelling, but we keep doing it because it works really well.
Because it works really good.
Well.
Yes,
it works really good.
Yes. Thanks, Pluto.
Shout out to Vivi. Right.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like I don't know, man. Just the show that like really does it all. Like I can't like. We talk about jack of all trades. Like this is like Apocalypse Hotel is the king of all trades. Like it is like it has a maxed out. It's maxed out in every stat hex. Like it looks good too, right? Like also,
I was about to say like it's perhaps less technically. Well, it is less technically ambitious than City,
but what is everything is.
It has like an incredibly beautiful style all of its own. And again, that style informs the mood and tone of the show, the sort of the beautiful ruins of post-apocalyptic Earth, the very old-fashioned, traditional kind of old-world trappings of the hotel itself, the weird robots and alien dudes that they keep pumping into. It just all contributes to that sort of feeling of lushness, of energy and life to the whole thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of just really unique creativity and like the art direction and like the alien designs and like things that we haven't seen before, like when the cat shows up to end the world. There's some like weird Digimon frog thing
with the boxing gloves,
with the boxing gloves. It's just like very creative, like anything goes type of creativity.
Has to fight the Avengers.
Yes, the timing is great as well. Like they really, from a visual standpoint, they nail the jokes absolutely perfectly with the visual.
Right, the direction, comedic timing.
Look, I mean.
Everything they got it all.
They did some good shows last year as well, of course, but I think this is the year where like Cygames Pictures is a threat. Like this
is the one that really made us start saying that.
Yes,
right? Like,
yes. Like this is the one that really started kickstarting the like we gotta the Braveheart guys. Like what?
And it's worth pointing out as well, of the three, this is the original one. This is the one from no previous source material.
Yeah.
Like this is all Cygames Pictures, baby.
Yeah, it really, really impressive. Shout outs to Flycatcher Robo, character of the year.
Yeah, bro of the year for sure.
I'm gonna dedicate my shout out to Doorman Robo instead. He's got a job and he does it well.
He sure does. Yes, but great show and awesome to see like a comedy at number one. Like it's I feel like we don't. Actually, I'm trying to remember, but. What our historic number ones have been.
I think Iro, you were bringing this up when we were watching it. It's like, why do we discount comedies in these best of the
right?
And to be fair, I think there are you could make a less informed take where you're like, oh, but there's more than just comedy into this. And it's like that's how a lot of comedy works, right? A lot of good comedy.
I guess Dungeon Meshi was number one last year, so actually,
Yeah, and you know, I would you know, we're still categorizing this as a comedy for sure. Like, yeah,
Yes.
sure, there are other elements, but this is primarily here as, you know, something that is funny. Yeah, just great show. I would recommend anybody watch this.
This is the one to watch this year.
There is nobody I could think of that would not enjoy. Like, no group of people would not get something out of this show, I think.
Yeah, it's the one, and that's why it's number one on our list. So once again, we are never wrong.
I found it reassuring to escape from the world into a world filled with robotic servants. You know, thank God nothing like that could happen in real life at all.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, if our robot servants were like cool and like, you know, really good at opening doors and
could find shower caps
and distilled whiskey and developed kinetic bombardment. Oh wait, actually no. They might actually do that in real life. Shit.
Yeah.
Could go on a date with Apocalypse Cat.
Yeah. God, that episode was so good.
It really was.
Yeah. Great show.
Great show.
Great set of 10 shows.
Yeah. Again,
this is a really solid top 10.
Like, unironically, a lot of shows this year that, like, you know, look, we know who we are. We know what the GLORIO vibe is. I know that a lot of this is us complaining about why anime is bad, or, wow, look at this dog shit that aired this season, right? But I think when you kind of look at the year in hindsight, right, especially when you've collated, you know, your favorites, this is one of those years that is a reminder of like why we still watch anime, right? Like there's nothing quite like it, you know, and there are still shows that consistently find ways to surprise us, and I think that is that is heartening, right? That is like a nice thing to know that, like, you know, however 2026 goes, whether in the world or with anime, right? Like, you know, maybe the Science Saru Ghost in the Shell is bad, right? Who knows? God forbid, right? Maybe it fucking
never made a bad Ghost in the Shell anime.
I was going to say they've never made a bad Ghost in the Shell.
You know, and so maybe that's not the one, but there will be at least one show in 2026 that we all watch that makes us go, wow, didn't see that one coming. And I think that's cool.
Yes.
I think
go ahead, Zig.
I was just going to say, I think my major takeaway of this year is that it has been exciting how many of these shows we did not see coming. You know, because obviously there are some established known quantities on here, but there's a ton of stuff which, you know, we were not plugged in on that came out of nowhere to surprise us, and the overall quality is very high, and that's really exciting, you know, because this did not register at the beginning of the year as kind of a big year, however you want to say it. And I'm encouraged by that. I'm very encouraged by that.
Yeah.
God bless us, everyone.
All right.
Sorry.
Well,
and Tiny Tim, who did not die but was instead assigned to the Gundam task force. The safest place you could imagine.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how 2026 goes. Hopefully, we have the same level of quality.
I mean, we're going to be running headlong into some crazy shit.
Yep, we're going to already have new season stuff coming up here. 2026, the actual year of the horse, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yes, I know. That is the joke. I wish the timing had worked a little bit better for my post, but, you know, it's
when
close
we
enough.
Inevitably get Cinderella Grey season 3 next year, right? Then we can bring that joke back up.
Yes.
But yeah, a good year for anime. All right. Well, that's gonna do it then for our top 10 for 2025. You know, on to 2026.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone for listening over the course of this year. You know,
yes,
always fun.
Yeah, what are your guys' top 10 if they didn't make our list?
Yeah.
What are your favorite anime?
Yeah, to that point, Zig, I do want to say yes, thank you to anybody who is a real human being listening. I feel like 2025 broke the internet for me and probably a lot of people, where everything is AI slop and bots and weird things with page views and clicks and things. And
rest assured, the GLORIO promise is that our opinions are authentically bad.
We are real people with real bad opinions.
These are human sourced bad takes. And
I appreciate, even the fact that even one total stranger would be listening to me talking about anime by choice is still wild to me. So thank you for anybody out there who is listening. So
we really do mean it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap this up. Do our housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. Follow us on Blue Sky at glorioblog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Tsuchinoko Rio?